The Faith Research Network is dedicated to developing compassionate care models that enhance the lives of families through faith-led, system-enabled support networks. Guided by reverse research, the network develops social prescribing care models that connect individuals and families to community health services. Aligned with public health priorities. The network collaborates with voluntary, community, faith, and social enterprise organizations, as well as external partners, to strengthen institutional capacity and develop transformational leadership approaches through advocates, communities of practice, and toolkits that encourage rethinking their collective impact within neighborhoods and local communities. The Faith Research Network is supported by the Academic and Community Health Research Program and the National Institute for Health Research.
Good day and welcome. And I'm really pleased I have Hemant Patel with me today, and he's a former president of the Royal Pharmaceutical Society and clinical lead for health inequalities and population health management. And he is also a pharmacist. Good day, Hemant, and I hope all is well.
Good day, Rudy. Very good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And I'm really looking forward to this evening.
Thank you very much, Hemant. And I'm particularly pleased because of your expertise around the area of multiple long-term conditions in particular. So Hemant, tell us, what is the most overlooked driver of our daily health choices beyond genetics and environment?
Oh, that's a great question, Rudy, because when we look at what has happened since the World War in our country, a number of long-term conditions have exploded. We now have 18 million people suffering from one or the other long-term condition. We can see obesity rising, even in children, which is concerning. Diabetes consumes 10% of the NHS budget and will explode at some stage soon. Hypertension, the silent killer, and cardiovascular diseases. Something people don't talk about very often is the non-alcoholic fatty liver and the risks it poses. A lot of ethnic minority communities also have people who suffer from chronic kidney disease. And certain cancers like colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and pancreatic cancer are rising. And then irritable bowel syndrome and a lot of gut issues. We see that in the pharmacy on regular basis, people on regular antacid prescriptions or buying over the counter. Then Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline, depression and anxiety, which are the mental health conditions. And then autoimmune conditions like psoriasis and rheumatoid arthritis. Also, osteoarthritis and chronic musculoskeletal pain. And for women, polycystic ovary syndrome. So these are the examples of growing long-term conditions we have not seen before in the where we are seeing now. So your question about beyond genetics and environment, what is influencing all that? First of all, they look like they're all different conditions. Yet the driver for all those conditions is the same driver. It's just that the impact on different organs in the body is different. So what we call systemic inflammation is affecting the whole body, but some organs are more sensitive than others depending on genetics. But it's really important to realize that there's a whole range of wider determinants of health and genetics, but people forget something really basic. And it is not willpower to change. It is not knowledge, because there's plenty on the internet, library, wherever you want. It's our taste buds.
Yeah.
And these taste buds um, uh, um, um, determine what we eat because the flavors that we like.
Mhm.
So your body shape, your internal environment, all that is shaped by a narrow range of foods that people prefer. So that is one of the major problems. And the reason why it is a problem is because um, uh, high fat, salt, and sugar uh, is consumed in vast quantities. And these lead to changes in the gut and then through the whole system in the body. So, what I would say is avoid ultra processed foods because if you continue eating ultra processed foods, your hunger signals are going to be messed up. And therefore, I think we need to consciously look at ways to retrain our taste buds so we eat healthily. We can still enjoy the tastes, but is to redesign our eating habits so that all the conditions I listed earlier can be managed at home in the kitchen.
Okay. So, how can someone tell if their body is inflamed without needing a blood test or a doctor's visit?
Yeah, before I think we had to go for blood tests and wait weeks and all that kind of things. But there's a very simple test. You can do it at home and it won't take more than 5 minutes. You get a tape measure, measure your waist, multiply by 2,
Mhm.
and then compare that to your height. If the value of your waist times 2 is more than your height, then there are definitely things going wrong in the body driven by inflammation.
Okay.
So that's a simple test. Obviously, you do blood tests and things
Yeah.
like that to confirm it, but that is an indication. And so if you can control your waistline,
Mhm.
then you control all these diseases and reduce the risk.
Okay. So, why is chronic inflammation so hard to detect? And why does it matter for long-term health?
Well, let's look at what inflammation is first, and
Mhm.
then we'll talk about chronic inflammation. When an insect bites you, you feel it immediately. And we all know what happens next. There's a pain, so there's pain, a
Mhm.
bit of swelling, redness, and
Mhm.
all these are reactions that the body starts in order to manage that insect bite. Now, imagine that perhaps 1,000, 20,000 less times less intense, but it is occurring all over your body
Mhm.
and affecting every single organ 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So you probably not even feel it. You might feel a little bit different, but compared to the insect bites,
Mhm.
the intensity would not be there. So, what happens when you have chronic inflammation is that the system designed to protect you is actually running amok.
Okay.
And as a result of that, the tissues are very slowly damaged over a period of time. You age more quickly. Yes, you heard it correct. You
Mhm.
age more quickly when you are inflamed. And you are setting a scene for chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, dementia, and in some cases, even cancer. So it is silent but dangerous. And because it builds over a period of time,
Mhm.
years, some I would say, people often don't connect their fatigue weight gain, and brain fog to this deeper issue, which is persisting in their body. So spotting it early and reversing it is a key to long-term health. And so the answer is do what I suggested. Take your waist measurement and height, compare that. And if it's more than 1 in ratio, go and see your doctor. He'll do the blood tests and he'll identify ways to help you.
Okay. So what's the link between gut health and inflammation, and how quickly can this improve with changes in diet?
Well, up to now, certainly when I went to School of Pharmacy, we were told that the gut was an organ for digestion, and that was it. And I'm simplifying it a bit. But in the last 15 years or so, we've got to learn new things about the gut. And yes, it is an important organ for digestion of food. And it does something else as well. And it is our immune center. It has got good bacteria there, which help produce, for example, things like serotonin, which is a happy hormone. 80 to 90% of the serotonin, the happy hormone, is produced in the gut.
Okay.
Also, those bacteria break down food like starches, sugars, things like that. And they produce what is called butyrate, and these are small molecules that are used for fuel by the body. So they're important. And as a gatekeeper, it is very important to look after the gut, because the gut lining has got a protective layer. And if that layer is damaged, undigested food, bacteria which have come with the food, can enter the bloodstream. And that then starts an immune response, because all the good system, the immune system, is thinking, hey, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. And then it gets overactive over a period of time. And so what we call microbiome is very important. And keeping that in balance is important. When it goes out of balance, we call it dysbiosis. And that's when the illnesses of various starts. So all the illnesses that I've mentioned have probably got an origin in the stomach, because if the gut bacteria balance is disturbed, then we fall ill, sometimes silently and over a period of time. But good thing is that eating well over a short period of time heals the gut very quickly. And the kind of things that I'm talking about in terms of eating is beans, fermented foods, polyphenol-rich vegetables, which are, what I would call rainbow-colored vegetables.
Yeah.
Eat as many different colors during a week as you possibly can. I heard a number 30 mentioned. I don't quite eat 30, but I do try and get as near to that as possible. And these feed the right bacteria and calm your inflammation.
Okay. So how do common medications like antacids or statins contribute to inflammation over time?
Yes, it's one of those things where you get medicine to sort one problem out. So in the terms of antacid, you either buy it over the counter or the doctor prescribes it to neutralize excess acid. So that's the problem, that's the solution. But that solution actually creates a secondary problem. Okay? And what happens is that you lose B12. which is an important vitamin for our energy production in the body. Magnesium, it catalyzes around about 500 enzyme reactions in the body. And zinc. So when you lose all that, you feel debilitated. So you solved one problem, but created another. And often people don't. So what would then happen is that the doctor will give you medicines for the depletion rather than sorting out the depletion. Statins, it's well known for at least 20 years that you eliminate CoQ10, which is an important vitamin. No, it's not vitamin. CoQ10 is a cofactor which you use for energy production. So here, you are not allowing your um, your cholesterol level to rise, but what is happening is that you are creating a secondary problem and not feeling well. So your mitochondria, which is the engine for creating energy, is not working well. Your tissue repair, it takes longer to heal as a result of that, and your immune balance goes out of kilter. So continue to take medicines, but be aware of the secondary problems which you need to correct if necessary.
Okay, so is there one food or lifestyle habit that's most effective at reversing inflammation?
Yes. Again, everybody eats the food their mothers used to cook at home traditionally, and in many households, women and now men cook. So you eat what you enjoy, not necessarily what is healthy. So, for example, chips, potato chips, once in a while is fine, but 4 times a week is a little bit too much.
Okay.
And then red meat has been shown to create some problems in terms of health. So cooking at home, because you know what you're putting in there. I must say that the oil we use in cooking can create problems because there's omega-3, which are the good fats, and then omega-6, which are not so good. So omega-6 creates an inflammatory condition in your body. Never use reheated oils because, again, silently, they're damaging your gut, they're damaging your body, and so we need to be careful. Ultra-processed food with high salt, sugar, fat, they create problem. So eat at home, start with maybe cooking once a week, and then twice a week, 3 times. Try and buy the good quality ingredients and cook at home. That is what I'm trying to do. Because remember, food is not only a source of energy and pleasure, it is actually a chemical signal. It contains information. Okay? Every bite tells your body to either heal or to harm. So it's really important that we focus on what we eat and learn something about nutrition. That's the best way to start looking after yourself.
Okay. And finally, if someone wants to start reducing inflammation today, what's the single best action they can take?
Single best action is mindset.
Okay.
And mindset is, I will engage in a change, not I'll start tomorrow. So mindset is one thing. But then good quality food that we talked about, water we drink has got all kinds of stuff there. Buy a good quality filter and use that. And if you can hydrogenate it, it's even better. So, and then sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is a big problem for a lot of people, especially in this heat which we have got. And I think if they start with those basic things, then they're halfway there. And then they can make little tweaks. But remember, a small change regularly done over a period of time is better than trying to change 4 things at the same time.
Okay. So, Hemant, thank you very much for that most valuable information. And if somebody would like to know more about your work, I know you've written a book. If you could just give us some quick details on that, I'd be most
Yes. I wrote this book
grateful.
because I had COVID and I nearly died. And I saw as a 70-year-old man going home from hospital. And then I heard about a 40-year-old marathon runner die. And I thought, that doesn't make sense. I got to find out why that happened. And it turns out it was all due to inflammation. So
Okay.
you could over-exercise and create a problem. So the book is called The Complete Anti-Inflammatory Guide. It is available paperback, hardback, audio, and Kindle on Amazon. Please have a look at the book. In order to contact me, I'm available on Kindle, on LinkedIn. And you can send me a message from LinkedIn. And there's a lot of articles on inflammation on LinkedIn.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you.
And I wish all your listeners a healthy life. Thank you.
Thank you very much.